the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this evening, feel free to leave a comment in the down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so, and share the video on all social media platforms as we continue our march to 1,700 subscribers. Every time I check it, and I've added one, I feel so lucky and blessed because there's millions and millions and millions of YouTubers out there, and then there's thousands and thousands of them that get paid to do it, and I do this for free, and I really enjoy doing it. So every time I get another subscriber, I feel so blessed and so lucky. But as you can tell by the title of tonight's video, I'm going to be talking college football, but to be more specific, we're going to be talking about college football non-conference games. Well, hopefully I'll see you, Jacob, not tomorrow, but next Thursday in Elberton, Georgia, for Scrappy Championship Wrestling, and then the following Saturday for Total Aggression Wrestling, and then again on the 30th for Total Aggression Wrestling at the Creek Church. Hopefully I'll see you there. But to be more specific, we're going to be talking about college football non-conference games, because earlier today I saw an article from Matt DeLima, maybe Matt DeLima. The last name is Lima, and I've heard that pronounced Lima and Lima. I'm going to think this time it's Lima. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But Matt DeLima, it was released May the 7th, so just last week. And he works for the Big Lead, and he released an article that's the top 10 2026 college football non-conference games. Well, that's good to hear, Jacob. At least I'll see you at one of the shows. So without further ado, let's talk about the 2026 college football top 10 best non-conference games. And you're watching from Brazil. Well, I don't know what day it is in Brazil or what time it is in Brazil, but nevertheless, no matter what day and what time it is, glad to have you here. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for checking us out here on this Wednesday evening here where I am. Maybe it's Wednesday where you are as well. It's 11 p.m., so you're not too far ahead of us if it's only 11 p.m. there. You're not too far ahead of us, but thank you, Yurid, for checking in from Brazil. I always enjoy when people comment and tell me where they're watching from. It's amazing you can hold a phone in your hand or a tablet in your hand and have people watching from all over the world. So thank you for checking in. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe and click that bell so you'll be notified each time we go live. And make sure you give the video a like, a thumbs up, and share the video on all social media platforms. Yurid, I hate being asked that question because I hate where I was born at, but I can't help it. But there's two things in life I love. That's the Clemson Tigers and anybody that plays Georgia. I can't stand the Georgia Bulldogs, but unfortunately I was born in Athens. But of course, since I was a baby, I don't remember that. I don't recall that. But if I could go back in time and take that away, I wouldn't have been born in Athens. But when people tell me where I'm from, I can't lie to them. I was born in Athens, and we lived in Athens when I was itty bitty, but we moved away when I was probably a year old. So I don't remember any of that, but I was born in Athens. But don't tell anybody in Brazil that I was born in Athens, Georgia, because I'm not proud of it. But some of these teams played here, and this year's round number 2. Some didn't, and then some of these games are neutral site games, and then some of them are played at his home stadium. Number 10, Boise State at Oregon. This game's going to be on September the 5th from Autzen Stadium in Eugene. Oregon number 9 is Baylor versus Auburn. And I don't have last year's schedule in front of me, but I'm almost positive that Baylor and Auburn played last year in week 1 or week 2. This year it's going to be in week 1 on September the 5th from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Georgia number 8. Tennessee at Georgia Tech. The game will be in Atlanta on September the 12th at Bobby Dodd Stadium. Louisville versus Ole Miss. That game's going to be on Sunday, September the 6th in Nashville. And if you think about it, you know every year now college football starts, and they always start on Labor Day weekend. So the games start on Thursday and go through Monday. Well, the big primetime game this year is Louisville and Ole Miss. Hey there, Alex. Glad to have you here. And Alex, I don't think I recognize your name. If you have been here before, I apologize that I forgot. If you haven't and you are new, thank you so much for stopping by the channel here on this Wednesday night. You're right in the middle of our weekly top 10 countdown. I try to do one of these every single Wednesday. This one's about college football, but some of my top 10 countdowns are not about sports in any way, shape, form. Number 6, also on a Sunday, the 6th, we've got Wisconsin and Notre Dame, and that game's going to be played in Wisconsin, but not at Wisconsin Stadium in Madison. It's going to be in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And again, 10 through 6, Boise State at Oregon, Baylor versus Auburn, Tennessee at Georgia Tech, Louisville versus Ole Miss, and Wisconsin versus Notre Dame. Now, cracking the top 5 is another game where these two teams played last year, and I'm almost positive last year it was in week 1 because it was all the talk the following week because of the upset. This year, I don't think that will happen, and this year it's on the 3rd week of the season, Saturday, September 19th, in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, at Alabama. And if Florida State wins this year, I'll be more surprised than I was last year. Last year was only because, you know, it was Gus Malzahn's offense, and when you give Gus Malzahn 6 months to prep for a game, he's going to throw things at you that you don't expect. And that's why Florida State won the game. He's no longer at Florida State, and Florida State's offense to me is not going to be any better than it was last year. So unless Alabama's new quarterback, whoever it is, come September, struggles, and Florida State wins maybe 13-10, I don't see Florida State winning. This year I'd love if it happened because I despise Alabama, but I don't think it will. Number 4, Notre Dame at BYU on October 17th in Provo, Utah at LaVell Edwards Stadium. Number 3, going to be played in Ann Arbor, Michigan on September the 12th. Oklahoma at Michigan. Number 2, Miami at Notre Dame on November the 7th in South Bend, Indiana. And number 1, you should know, I believe this was the number 1 non-conference game that folks were excited about heading into last college football season. September the 12th, Austin, Texas, Ohio State at Texas. And those two teams played last year. I'm almost positive it was week 1 last year, and this year it's week 2, but it may have been week 2 last year, but I think it was week 1. But Ohio State won 14-7, and the game was 0-0 for the longest time. And the only reason why I think the game was week 1 last year is because I think Ohio State at Texas was the noon game, and that was followed by Florida State and Alabama at 3:30. But I'm completely going by memorization, so I could be wrong. I believe that's how it went, but the game was 0-0 for a long time, and Ohio State ended up winning 14-7. Texas had a shot late in the game and couldn't tie it, but when that game ended, you thought, okay, either Ohio State's got a really, 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 really good defense, or Arch Manning is just not quite ready. Both things ended up being true. I don't think Arch was ready that early, but he did slowly but surely get better and better as the year progressed. And Ohio State ended up with a top 5 defense. So it turned out both things were true. Arch wasn't ready, and Ohio State had a really, 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 really good defense. Any thoughts on any of this? Please feel free to let me know. And again, thanks to all who commented tonight. I always appreciate the comments, especially Yurid, who commented watching from Brazil. I couldn't tell you the amount of people I've had on here comment that are watching in different countries, so I always enjoy seeing when somebody's watching from Brazil or whatever country they're watching from. But let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day here. A guy went to a costume party dressed as a knife, and he really looked sharp. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family.